All right, welcome to what we think will be the final 10-10-10. It just depends, I guess, because I've really enjoyed this. I like the idea of getting some training, learning about coaching, and also getting some inspiration. It's been really, really fun. But what we have learned so far about coaching, I couldn't help every time that we talked about it or when Jamie was on, I kept thinking about Alita because I've been on coaching calls for me personally with her. And I keep saying to her, how does your brain know to ask that? Like, how did you know to say that? And I still sort of have that unbelievable, like, how do you have the skill? But I also don't want you to think it's not something you too can learn, because you can. All of us can learn to do this. I saw Heather Langford this morning say that she's starting coaching calls with her team in August. I think that is so beautiful. It's such a great skill to use as a leader. So we're going to get started with Alita. She's going to share with you some things about coaching, and then we're going to get to hear from Laura. And I'm just going to be here happy and listening and taking notes. Here we go.
All right, what's up? Okay, so I want everybody to know, I've got like eyelashes on one eye and not on the other. So when you feel like anybody, I promise you too can, okay? So I got caught in a crazy storm at football. Literally blew up all over my kitchen, literally in the making it. And I'm thinking, this is when personal growth is my favorite thing on the planet, because it's not, you don't have secret sauce. Power hour this morning, I talked about that. It ain't the hair extensions that make you diamond. It's not the eyelashes that make you diamond. There's no secret sauce. And grow your business for you. You already have what it takes to get there. There's just some simple questions in the way we think that can change absolutely. First, want to just say I'm super humbled, super honored, and super excited to get to share with you tonight things that I've learned along the way in the school of hard knocks, in the school of just people Jen asking me questions, or from Sarah Marble's videos I was being trained by her, hiring thousands of dollars of coaches. I've taken from everybody and kind of just made some questions. I do this personally. So when Jen asked me to come on and share, I kind of went back and forth. Do I just coach somebody live, which is my jam? I love doing it. Or do I share what I do every week? And I thought tangible and use. This is something I do every single week without fail. It is a habit that I do for my business. And these are things that I go with when I'm coaching somebody. These are usually the questions that I ask. So I'm just going to share screen. I'm like, I love to take notes, but I would really love to just screenshot too. Okay. Lord help me. All right, here we go. Is it showing, Jen? Can you see it? Okay, good. Okay. So this is something that I at the beginning of the year. Okay. So you can see here. So the first question I ask myself, or anybody coaching, is what are you excited about in your business right now? What are you pumped about? Who is joining your business that you're like, yes, man, to be happening. I'm excited. The next question I ask is what feels hard right now? What feels tough? What feels like I can't overcome it? I feel unsure. So I life. Okay. So I will say, like, my business, what I'm excited about, but what feels hard right now is maybe kids, sports, and work. Hard. I always want people to be honest and truthful and not just say what they think I want to hear, or what they think you want to hear. What feels hard right now? Being honest is always the key. Why does that feel hard? What about it feels complicated? I have found that when I get to that question, usually I'm like, okay, this isn't as hard as I thought, and there's a solution. What are your goals this month? And what activities need to happen to get there? Huge question. And I in this one question, but one of my favorite is what need to happen. So we're not just saying my goal this month is to sign up 25 people. My goal this month is to personally sign up 3 people. I'm going to post every single day in my stories. I'm going to reach out every single day consistently to new people, the activities that need to happen to get there. Because if we just say a goal out loud and we never back it up with activity, we're just wishing. And so we really want to get into activity mode. And then I go into last month, your goal was, or if I do it weekly, did I hit it? If so, how? And if not, why not? Asking ourselves really good questions really can move us to the next level of our business. What needs to change this month as a result of what you learned from last month? So one thing I learned from Kristen Boss's mastermind was reflection is your friend. Reflection is actually what's going to cause growth. And sometimes we're so afraid, okay, maybe it was just me, but I'm like, I would avoid the back office like the plague. I would be like, I can't understand it. It's in a different language, I'm pretty sure. I can't understand my points. What does this even mean? And even now, sometimes I'll be like, I actually don't understand the comp plan at all. I just speak in videos. I will send you a video of the comp plan and hope for the best. But I learned that if I would take the time to reflect on what happened last month, what did I learn from those experiences? I absolutely am growing my failure tolerance. I'm growing my failure tolerance things and saying, okay, well, that maybe that felt bad in the moment, but what I learned and what I gained from it is just absolutely priceless to me. I learned my hardest lessons and my biggest, best lessons that took me to the top of this company in the absolute valleys. In the absolute valleys, when I thought, I can't do this, I'm so discouraged, Jen, this is never going to happen for me. Somebody come get me, right? I learned my most in those moments when I was willing to look at it, when I was willing to look it in the face. I always tell my team, personal growth isn't for the good days, my friends. Personal growth is not for the days where you're feeling on top of the world. It's for the days that are hard. It's for the days where you're telling yourself, I can't do this. These types of things can seem kind of controlling of my day. Resist doing this. It's like, well, I don't want to keep answering the same questions. It's so boring. But what happens is I paper and it encourages me to keep going because I'm starting to see, okay, there is growth. There are movement. I can see my numbers moving in the right direction. Reflection is your friend, not your enemy. What is one area you're going to up level in your business this week? This year, this month, however often you want to do this. What is one area you're going to up level? Sometimes you're like, okay, I'm going to up level in every single area. I'm going to be mom of the year. I'm going to be captain of the football team, not captain, coach of the, I'm going to be mom, coach mom, or whatever the things are, all things, PTO. And I'm also going to go double diamond. Right. And it's like, okay, let's hold up. What is one area that I can actually really intentionally focus on? So for me, in a certain season of my business, I really focus on coaching. I really focus on me getting coached. I really focus on coaching my team. I coach my level ones every single week. I meet with them and we go over these things. And so what is one area you're going to up level in your business? I love to do it weekly. I say this weekly. I do it once a year and I also do it weekly. How will you do that? How are you going to up level? Great question. And I'm going to give you some answers to that in case you're wondering, like, well, I don't know how to up level. I remember when I first heard up level, I'm like, what does that even mean? And stop trying to talk to me in some code. Somebody just tell me what you're talking about. What I'm saying is up leveling is really taking your thoughts from just chronically negative. Okay. So when you think negative, right? It's up leveling is taking it to where your triggers actually become in your favor and not working against you. Doesn't that sound amazing? Where you can actually train your brain to work for you instead of against you. So how I do that is through, I love affirmations on my mirrors. I write them everywhere I go. I have them in my office. I have these little cards right here. This one says, I'm in control of my thoughts and I choose to only allow positive ones because we're in control of our thoughts. And so when we can choose, if we allow those negative ones to stick around, so we can choose that. So some of the things are podcasts. I listen to something every single day. It's a habit I've been doing for the last 5 years. There is rarely a day I go that I don't listen to something uplifting or positive. Absolutely love it. It makes me so happy. What is one big decision you need to make your goal happen? For me, it was having someone come and help me do laundry. Okay. Sometimes those things can be little things that you're like, what is one big decision? I need to sit down and write my posts out for the month. What is one decision that you could make that would change your entire business? For me, when I was Emerald to go Sapphire, I had to make a big decision of investing in my mindset. Had to. I danced around it felt like ever for months. And I finally was like, no, I'm doing this for me. So you need to think about what is one decision that you need to make that could change everything for your business. Who's your accountability partner? Maybe you've got an awesome one like Jay Leith, or maybe Laura Bland is your power partner. Call you out and be like, yo, I know you're busy, but you said you wanted to do this. And I want to be that person for you that doesn't let you quit on yourself. So who's that person? Brianne Coolidge is a diamond in plexus, and she and I met at Jewel School. And she would literally message me and be like, I know you're widowed. I know your parents have died. I know everybody thinks you're Joe, but you said you were going to do this. So let's do it. And we would message. Sometimes we go on messaging blitzes. We're not on the same team of 100 people, and we were accountable to each other. You need to have someone that you give permission to keep you accountable. What is one big decision you need to make your goal happen? Okay, already covered that one. Whoops. What are you actively going to do to develop your leadership? Am I okay on time? Don't want to stay too long here. Okay. So what are you actively going to do? Again, those are really good, like book clubs, being on Power Hour. Are you going to listen to Lewis Howes' School of Greatness? I love that podcast. I listen to it almost every day when I work out. So good. There's lots of different. What are you going to listen to every day to elevate your thoughts? Okay. So same thing, just elevating and thinking about how can I change the way I think about it? The truth of it is that our thoughts immensely, they compound and they make our actions and come out to be our results. So if you think about it, if you're creating your life through your thoughts, what are your thoughts? They really matter. And I want to share this story before I share the last two questions, is that I was at convention. I can't remember how long ago, 3 years, 4 years, probably 4 years. Tara Castanet was sharing, and she said, I want you to write down right now how much money you want to make. So everybody write down, just do it for fun. Okay. Write down how much money you want to make every month. And then she said, now double it. Okay. So if you wrote down 5,000, now it's 10,000. Put some stuff in the comments of what you put down, claim it out loud, and then tell me what you're thinking about the double. Are you guys kind of freaking out when you're like, what? Like, what's happening? I don't know if that's even possible. Let me look in the chat. I want to see. Okay, 10,000 doubles, 20,000. Yeah. Okay. The double makes I love that, Jen. It should embarrass us almost, right? It should make us feel uncomfortable. And she went on this whole thing, and she was just like really feeling it. And I was like, yes. I'm like, okay. Now she wasn't talking directly to me. She's talking to a whole room full of people, but it was like she was talking straight to my soul. And so I was writing down, and she said, who are the new people that are going to join your team? Who are the jewels, new or old, that will be on your team when you're earning this kind of money? And I wrote down some names. Are you guys ready for this? I also wrote down that I wanted to get married and have a baby, because I was like, heck, if I'm doing this, I'm writing the whole thing down. I have that piece of paper still. And I had names written on there that are all my jewels now. I am married with a baby, living in my dream house that we built. And I am earning the double amount that I wrote down in that room. So somebody unmute and tell me that this doesn't work. Tell me that visualizing, feeling, and believing. I came into agreement and into alignment with my higher truth, with the truth that God says about me, that I can have whatever it is that I dream up, whatever I dream is possible. I really believe we don't use our imagination anymore. I really believe that we're so taught to just keep telling ourselves like, that's not possible. That's not possible. And so our belief that when we go to share, we're sharing from such a low place of belief that people aren't to it. So when you raise your belief level up, listen, I resurrected somebody from the not from the dead necessarily, but from the plexus dead. She was gone. She was gone. Okay. And sister girl, white line, all the things came back and went emerald in 5 months. Come on, written on my paper. She was already gone. She'd already taken a 4 back, and she's on this call tonight as an emerald. It matters what you speak into existence, what you're believing and thinking about yourself and about your team, and what you believe you deserve and what's possible for you and your family. And when you lay down your fears and you really let your mind expand and let your heart see what is actually possible, my friends, you will see the fruition of all of these things coming true. And one day you're going to wake up and be like, how did this even happen? It happened because you took 2 minutes, diamond call, to just for 1 second, maybe just believe that double portion is possible for you. So the next question is, do you believe you can do this? On a scale of 1 to 10, write down how confident you are, because I've got news for you. You can increase your belief. I got a word when I was widowed, and it basically was learn to encourage yourself. Ain't nobody going to knock on your door and say, sister, get to work, because everyone feels sorry for you. Okay. I had to learn to dig deep and encourage myself. I had to learn to show up with 1 set of lashes on and 1 set of lashes off. I had to learn to show up to work with kids literally putting lips over their face while I was on calls. I learned that I was going to have to encourage myself. Dang glad I did. I can tell you that. I'm so dang glad I did. Whew, I feel like I chatted a lot. What time is it? I'm sorry, Jen. I'm not even. Oh my goodness. I talked for 20 minutes. I got to go. I love you guys. I'm on here. Laura, sister, are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know how I'm going to follow all that. Not sure I'm a
well, you're gorgeous.
Communicator.
You're beautiful, and I love your hat.
Thank you.
And you're amazing.
Thank you. All right. You just want me to get started? Okay. So first of all, I have to say, Jennifer, thank you for asking me to do this. Honestly, it's so humbling. Even having you show up in my inbox, I was pretty amazed that you were wanting to know what I was doing. Crazy to me. But Jennifer asked me to share about my plexus story, and so that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully I have a few little nuggets of knowledge for you. I don't know. We'll see. But basically, I did join Plexus in 2015, and I went gold in like 3 months. But I only worked the business for about 1.5 years, and I stopped for the dumbest reason. I'm a pastor's wife, and my husband was at the time an associate pastor, and the lead pastor did not like that I was a part of an MLM. And so he didn't like me posting about it on Facebook. I guess he never really told me I couldn't do it, but he made it very well known that he didn't like it. And so I was so fearful that my husband might lose his job over it that I gave it up. And boy, was that a mistake. But through the years, my husband and I have still continued to use the product, and it literally has changed his life in a lot of ways. I'll share his story. He just made a video about it yesterday. But anyway, there were 1 million times I had messaged Janina and I would tell her, I want to come back. And I'd think I'd come back, and I didn't. And it's so funny. About a month ago, I was all upset and tore up talking to my mom because I didn't understand why I was like struggling to lose weight. I was almost barely eating and gaining weight. And she stopped and she prayed with me and, just asked God to, answer the question for us and give me an answer. Well, I kind of forgot that we had talked about that, and we had prayed about it. And today I was talking to her, and she's like, "Remember, we prayed for this. We prayed for an answer." I decided to give Plexus a try when I seen the reset again, and when Janina, I told her, "Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try it out." And she wanted me to post right away. And I'm like, no, I'm going to wait until I'm done. I got to see if this works. So in 3 days, I lost 8.5 pounds. And I just knew that I had to share it. There was no way I couldn't. And so I did. And it kind of all snowballed from there. But when I really had to think of how did I manage in 2 weeks to get, I think, 45 or 46 people underneath me. I know, and I don't want to reiterate too much of what you just said, Alita. I know that it was my mindset. The last time that I did Plexus, I was not confident enough. I doubted everything. I cared way too much about what people thought. And it made me question every post I made. And I was so worried about people talking about me or any of that. But not only that, and this is going to be probably the most vulnerable part. So stick with me here. I got to tell you that it goes back to your past a little bit when it comes to mindset, because mindset really has a lot to do with your past. My dad is an addict, and he has struggled with all sorts of horrible things in his life. And he has every reason to feel sorry for himself. But growing up, it always frustrated me how sorry he felt for himself, because I'm like, if you always feel like that and you never get over it, then you're never going to do anything about it. Well, he's doing good right now. He's actually like 8 months clean in rehab, but I was talking to my therapist and I was telling her, I was like, I've been through a lot too. And I told her, I don't want to be like my dad and feel sorry for myself. And I don't want to I want to be able to get over these things that have happened. And she said, Laura, you know what you're saying? And I said, I'm recognizing the things that I don't want. And she said, no, it's the way you're talking. You got to flip the script. She said, you're saying, I don't want to. And she said, you need to speak truth about what you do want, not what you don't want, because your mind is so smart that when it hears you don't want to be like your dad, you don't want to feel sorry for yourself. I even was thinking when she said that, it was like something went off in my brain, and I'm like, I say I don't want everything. I don't want to drink Diet Coke. I don't want to be overweight. I don't want to fail. I don't want to, everything, literally everything. That was how I talked to myself. And I heard so much about mindset and rolled my eyes for years. But when she put it to me that way, that I had to flip the script and say, instead of saying, I don't want to drink Diet Coke, I say, I want to drink water. It's just that simple. And you know how much more water I'm drinking just because I changed the way I was saying it to myself? And so instead of saying, I don't want to fail, I say, I'm going to succeed. I'm going to do this. And so when I was a little discouraged when I got started again just 2 weeks ago, because I stopped as a diamond. Hold on, I need a drink. Oh, look, I'm in diamond mode. I stopped as a gold. And I I was a little discouraged because now I had like 16 points. And Janina's like, well, we got to get Jason, that's my husband, we got to fast start him gold. I was like, oh, okay, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that. And so I just made up my mind that that was what I was going to do. And so I just took it and I ran with it. And I think he was gold. I don't know, geez, on here, maybe in a week, I got him to gold. And then I started focusing on getting me to senior gold. And I don't know, I guess confidence was a big thing, but I have to, and changing my mindset, but I have to be honest. I do know that I have a large influence. And part of me didn't want to say that because I don't want to disappoint anyone and make them feel like, well, I don't have that many friends, or I don't have that many people on my Facebook or whatever. I do know that I'm blessed with a lot of big influence, but I've put in the time and invested time into people throughout the years so that they already trusted me. So when I made a post about what had happened to me in 3 days, they already knew if I was sharing about it, that there must be something good about it. And so if there's anything that I can challenge you to do is to work on your mindset. Say the things that feel so uncomfortable to say to yourself that you don't even believe, that you say them when you don't believe them, because the more that you say them, the more that you will believe them. I've had to look in the mirror several times. And even throughout this process, and people are, okay, I'm going to sign up. And then I don't hear from them. I'm like, it's been like 20 minutes now, but it's been, a minute. And so I go to the mirror and I'd be like, Laura, it's fine. If they don't sign up, somebody else will. And I just had to tell myself that and snap out of it and move on. And so work on your mindset, work on your confidence. And then work on growing your influence. You want people to trust you. This isn't just about Plexus. I think that if you want Plexus to work, you have to be invested in people's lives, just in general. And so I've worked so hard in creating relationships, and I know that it's definitely played a big part for me now. And then finally, an accountability partner is huge. Me and my husband, we have this thing that anytime that we get a little out of that confident mindset that just knows that we're going to do whatever we say we're going to do, because it'll happen. You'll have times where you start to doubt, and you'll speak those words out loud. Have somebody that can challenge you. For us, whenever I have those times, or whenever he has those times, we do this thing where we just say, think, feel, act. Because whatever you think you can do, you begin to feel like you can do it. And when you begin to feel like you can do it and you have that confidence, you're able to act on it. And so we do this all the time. And now we do it with our kids. My son just, tried out for travel ball today, and it's think, feel, act, think, feel, act. If you believe it, you can do it. And so that's just been a little special part of our marriage, that we have just challenged each other to grow in the places that we didn't necessarily always feel so confident. And you just got to flip the script. So I don't know, I guess that's about thank you.
So good. Woo!
So good. And y'all, she literally ranked up to senior gold. Can we just be ridiculous right now and everybody unmute and just act like lunatic for a second? Would everybody just do that for me really quick?
Proud of you.
I had a girlfriend say to me, I'm so proud of her too. I had a girlfriend say to me, your amount of comebacks are innumerable. Like, you can have as many comebacks as you want. And I was just thinking about how how many people have started and stopped and they're afraid to come back, or they're afraid to try it again, or they're afraid of what will happen. And you did that, you overcame that. And I just see like the blessing that it is. And I sense it. I don't know if anybody else senses that in her, but I sense that God's going to use her so big, especially because she's doing this I feel like in a way that's not just somebody's body, not just physical results, but results of the mind.
Yeah.
And so between what Alita shared and what you shared, when you said, I don't want to drink Diet Coke, and now you say, I want to drink water, I was like, quote of the night. Best thing ever. Seriously.
I mean, when I realized that that's literally how I talk to myself all of the time. And even when my husband and I first got married, we both came from broken homes and we didn't know what a healthy marriage looked like. And I would say, well, I don't know how we're going to do this, but what I do know is what I don't want. Instead, I should have been thinking about what I do want, and so it's just flipping that script and changing your mindset. And I did a call on Janina's team the other day, and I heard down 9, and somebody messaged me today, Katie, she might be on here. And she reached out and told me that, it really helped her that she's working on a mantra or whatever, and that she can believe. And I said, no. You got to do it when you don't believe it. Say it when you don't believe it, because the more you keep saying it, the more you keep looking in the mirror and saying it, you will believe it. And I was like, man, I used to be so, I guess I used to think about that mindset thing, like, oh, it can't be really true. And now I'm the girl that's claiming it is true. It's a real thing. And your mindset really does make a world of difference.
This is so good and so beautiful. So what's your big, hairy, scary dream with Plexus?
Well, I mean, of course, I had a dream last night that corporate contacted me and wanted me to speak. That would be super scary. So I guess that would be really cool, but scary, even this, I told Donna Lee, today I was like, I'm so nervous. And I said, she's like, there's a lot of people, you're in a lot of people's words or whatever, conversations. I said, yeah, I know. I was like, that's the thing, is that it's a lot of pressure right now. And I feel a lot of pressure. There's a lot of eyes on me. And I said, but they say pressure makes diamonds, and I have to sit at the right tables. And so I just got to show up and do it. And so that's what I'm doing.
I like you. And I think Alita likes you. I'm seeing her face over there. I know we're both like, can we be your friend? That's what I feel.
Of course.
Hang out.
Hang out with one eyelash.
I love that, by the way.
Yes, and I probably show with one earring 100% of the time.
Okay, so y'all, whatever, I like how she said that she feels that pressure, and then she realized what that means, that she's in the right company and she's around the people that are doing what she wants to do. And then just remember, like, there are going to be those moments of growth, and then there's going to be those moments of learning, and then there's going to be these moments of celebration. There's going to be all of that comes for her in her business. So you guys can just be keeping her in your thoughts and prayers, because she's on the list for silver stars, earning silver stars. That's a huge big deal.
It's crazy. I have 6 silvers. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. And what that means to me is you're helping other people experience the beginning of their big dreams and the beginning of their ability to flip the script. So good on you.
Actually, that was one thing that I wanted to point out too, is that as far as like how I did it, was encouraging everyone to start with a friend. I think this product really sells itself in a lot of ways, but when you encourage one person to have a friend join them, and then they make that happen, and then you're like, well, listen, if you get 2 more, then you make like $400. And they're like, oh, game on, and so then they're like ready to do it. So definitely encourage everybody to join and to do the reset with a friend, for sure. It makes
you guys catch that? because it's really good. It feels like a breadcrumb technique where she's saying, if you just have one friend do it with you, you're going to have such better results and you'll make $50. And $50, I mean, have you guys ever looked at other comp plans? They're like, we're going to give you a free bottle of whatever. Like there's just no compensation. So $50 is huge. And then once they've accomplished that breadcrumb, they're on to the next. I mean, honestly, that's so smart. I like that. Yeah, Stacy, each one, reach one. So good. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, because you're amazing and we love you. We need to do a Q&A, and I don't know if we will do it as a live, but you guys, I'm going to have Laura share again, because I think you guys have a lot of good questions in here, a lot of things about what she's doing, any suggestions that she has. Are you open to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I love to be able to help anybody that I can. So awesome. Anytime.
And Janina said something I thought was really beautiful, and this is a great way to end this. She said she always knew that Laura would come back, that she just would never give up on her. And
she never did.
Okay. And that's the thing. If you guys have someone, just like Alita said, that white lined and walked away, that's not a closed chapter. That's not a bye Felicia moment. That is when the time is right. I will never treat them differently. It doesn't matter whether they're a white line or they've left completely, whatever that is. You never know what's around the corner. So Janina, you're an amazing friend, an amazing upline. I'm so glad that this is happening right now on your team. So this was so fun. I really enjoy this. Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you, Alita.
Thank
People
you.
are asking for the pictures of your, whatever was in your PDF. So if you have them, great. If not, watch this back and take screenshots. Easy peasy. I'll upload this to YouTube here in a little bit. You guys have a great rest of your night. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye,
Good night,
guys.
everybody.